Today marks 1 year since the Titan submersible began its doomed voyage to the bottom of the North Atlantic Ocean to explore the wreckage of the Titanic. The sub vanished, and after an intense search, authorities concluded the Titan imploded. OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, who piloted the sub, was killed along with his 4 fellow passengers. Karl Stanley, who was a friend of Stockton Rush, was an early passenger on that doomed sub just 4 years before the disaster. He's the CEO of Stanley Submarines and joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Karl, I know this has to be a difficult day for you simply because you had a personal relationship with one of the victims and the man behind the Titan submersible. But can you tell us about your own deep sea trip inside that submersible and why it raised red flags for you?
Well, we were warned, the passengers, that it was going to make sounds, but I wasn't really prepared for the intensity and frequency of the sounds that we heard. And the more disturbing part was that it was still making sounds fairly close to the surface, which indicated to me that there was a permanent crushing, so to speak, of the hull, and that energy was being stored and then released. And I conveyed those thoughts to Stockton in a series of emails, and he ended up scrapping that hull and building a new one. I thought because of the emails that I had sent him, but from the Wired magazine piece that recently came out, it seems that ultimately the only thing that caused him to change course was 11 square foot area of visible damage to that hull, which is really shocking to me that that's what it took for him to change course, even that minor amount.
Karl, you talk about hearing sounds, and it's clear you are disappointed in the decisions that were made. Are you disappointed because he, too, like you, understood the science behind this and you wanted him to take more aggressive action? Describe that sound and talk about why you sound frustrated with the response and what he did or did not do as far as correcting the problem.
At the time, I felt that making a new hull was a good solution. But it wasn't until a year ago that more facts started coming out. I think the Vanity Fair article was the first one that really opened my eyes to the extent that Stockton was capable of telling lies. And once you realize somebody is a liar, and it opens up questioning everything else that they said. And, the more information that keeps coming out, the worse the story gets. And yeah.
Karl, talk about that sound. You said the sound. Was it like a popping? Can you hear it like collapsing on itself? What does that sound like to those of us who have never experienced anything like this?
It sounds like a gunshot or fireworks. It was, carbon fiber is a very strong material, and the pressures down there are so enormous that to start breaking it, you're releasing a tremendous amount of energy.
Karl, I have less than 30 seconds. I know you're working on your own technology in this space. What's next for you?
Well, I've been in business 26 years, taking tourists down into the deep sea here in Honduras, and I plan on continuing to do that for a good while.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.